Good morning, everybody. My name is Dimitris Argyropoulos, professor at UCD at University College Dublin and project coordinator of Watson. A warm welcome to the first webinar from our cluster entitled Traceability and Verification in Food Supply Chains, the Technological Perspective. We are a cluster of 8 European projects working on different aspects of traceability verification in food supply chains in Europe. And we hope that this is the first in many webinars to come, where we will get to showcase different aspects of the projects and, more importantly, present the results and outcomes of the work being carried out. It is our pleasure today to provide an overview of the different projects involved and to have a sneak peek into the different technologies that are being implemented and tested in different regions throughout Europe. Thank you all again for joining us. Before we get started, I would like to go over some basic housekeeping to ensure that the event runs as smoothly as possible. The session is being recorded and it will be posted on the cluster project website shortly after the event. If you have any objections, then please raise your hand now or let a member of the organization team know. Please turn off your camera and mute your microphones. Use the chat function and we will address them. We will address your questions and comments during the question and answer session. Captions are available. Kindly click on more and then language and speech where you will find an option to turn on automated captions. Let's move on to the agenda that we have today. We have presentations, as already said, from 8 cluster European projects. Those are Alliance, Q's, FishEUTrust, C2C, THEROS, Titan, Watson, and TealHelix. This will last for about an hour, and then we will have approximately half an hour for your questions, for the questions of the audience. About our speakers, we are very happy to have here with us today Kostas, a postdoctoral associate from the University of Thessaly. We'll talk about
Yo puedo ir también si
alliance.
quieres, tú me dices.
We have Kun Han, PhD candidate from the University of Wageningen. We'll talk about Q's. We have Neves from Joseph Stefan Institute. We'll speak about FishEUTrust. Sebastian Gaide will speak for C2C. Dimitra, scientific project manager at the ICCS Institute. For THEROS, Edward for Titan, Truls from our project Watson, and Tim from GS1 Germany will speak about TealHelix. We can kick off now with the first presentation. Kostas, we're very happy to have you here. The virtual floor is yours.
Thank you, Dimitri. Okay, I'm Kostas Choumas from University of Thessaly, which is the coordinator of Alliance. As Dimitri said, I'm postdoc researcher in University of Thessaly, and in Alliance I'm mainly related with the task of building the technology tools that are required for the management of the food supply chains. Okay. So the Alliance is a project that is funded by the initiative Horizon Cluster 6, which is about fair, healthy, and environmentally friendly food systems. It consists of 25 partners from 12 countries, which are either research institutes, universities, industrial organizations, associations, and other kinds of entities. It started on November of 2022 and finishes on October 2025. Its total funding is almost 3.8 million euros. And The aim of Alliance is to provide a holistic framework that safeguards data integrity and veracity, enhances traceability and transparency, and reinforces interoperability in quality-labeled supply chains. This is achieved with use of novel and cost-effective methods, such as blockchain, which is for transparent and immutable transactions, the early warning system for food fraud prevention, the advanced spectroscopy that is for identification of adulteration and provenance of food products, rapid testing for authenticity validation and proof of geographical origin, and the vulnerability risk assessment. In Alliance, we will demonstrate at the end of the project how our contributions will assist the management of food, quality-labeled food supply chains, which are the following. One is for olive oil in Italy, which runs under Biocos. Another is about feta cheese in Greece, where responsible is Olibos. Another is about organic honey in France and runs from a World Bee project. Another is the faba beans in Spain that responsible is Asincar. The Lika potatoes in Croatia from UPLK. Organic pasta in Italy from Marcenero, and the raspberries that are in Serbia, and originally is the partner that is responsible for this. Here you can see a list of the partners that contribute to Alliance. And this is the architecture that we have developed in Alliance. Here you can see a list of the technologies that we use and how they are interconnected. We use the next generation portable DNA sequencing that is used by a dedicated set of IoT devices for confirming the authenticity of the products. We use the blockchain technology that is for enhancing traceability with tamper-proof records. All data are stored in this layer. We have the AI early warning system for analyzing data performance metrics from various steps in the food value chain and detecting patterns and anomalies. We have the predictive analytics for forecasting future risks with historical and real-time data analysis. And at the end, we have a set of web apps for illustrating the results of the previous modules and giving the API for managing the food supply chains. One of them is the digital knowledge base, which is for providing and sharing comprehensive information on food products. We'll have also another web app that is for giving the opportunity to the consumer to upload using this web app the lot identifier of a product and see its backtracking information through an illustrative presentation. It's the same app that is used from the managers of the food supply chains to upload the data that are used for supporting this backtracking. Thank you, and I hope for your questions at the end. The floor is...
Thank you, Kostas, for the nice overview that you gave for the Alliance project. Now we can move on to the next.
It's not very good though.
Next European project. We can move to Q's. Kun?
Yes, thank you, Dimitri. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Kostas, for your presentation. I think it's a little bit different as my colleagues here today that they come with a solution, but I come with the problems. But I think, well, the more the merrier. So I bring different ingredients and different spice to this discussion today. My name is Kun Han, and I'm from Wageningen University. Today, I'm representing the project Q's, as you can see from background and also the presentation. Q's representing consumers' understanding of eating sustainably. Next slide, please. So a brief introduction about our project. So our Q's is focusing, as mentioned before, is about consumer eating sustainably, and we are focusing on the triple change. So we want to cultivate a culture that is supporting this initiative to help consumers to eat more sustainably, but also to have a policy dialogue going on to facilitate such conversation. So the policy and the culture change, but most importantly also, well, they are all equally important. That is about industrial change. So we want that to help together with the food value chain stakeholders to make our food value chain more transparent, traceable, and also trustworthy. And as you can see from the triple change part, that my work package is focusing on the bottom, the orange part, that about industrial change. So this is overall very quick information about projects. Next slide, please. So of course, if we say we need to do a change at the food value chain level, so we cannot be done only about at the researcher level. So we need industry partners that co-create a solution together with the researcher. So we are very lucky to have very four diverse case leads together with us to focus on the food value chain change. So we have a consumer organization from Greece that they are very dedicated to protect consumer rights. We have also a consortium from Italy that is focused on foster innovation. And we also have a business association that representing small and medium-sized enterprise in the food sector from Hungary that's with us in this work package. And last, we have also an alternative protein startup from Iceland called Loki Food that is also working as our industrial partner together to make our food value chain more transparent. Next slide, please. Yes. So as I mentioned before, that our work package adopts participatory action research. What do I mean by that? Is that we are really value the stakeholders' knowledge combined with researchers' analytical skill. Then together we are address a practical challenges such as making our food value chain more transparent and all the associated problems. By this way, then we can balance between the theoretical depths, but also the practical applicability. So in some of the research that the stakeholder or the actor of a value chain that is normally being considered as a research context or the research subject, but in this approach that they are also an active partner together with the research partner that they're creating knowledge together. And such approach, we do it in a iterative circle. So we have the inquiry, the action planning, pilot testing, and the reflect evaluation. So I will elaborate a little bit on how it works in our project, in my work package particularly. So we are going to conduct, this is our year one, so our project is relatively young. So we are at this phase that we just conduct our first workshop. But every year in the coming 3 years, we will have 3 more workshops together with our industry partners to conduct different themes of workshop together in the 4 cases that I have mentioned. So in Hungary, in Italy, in Greece, and also in Iceland. So we have already conducted the 4 co-identification workshops. Later, I will share you what we have discovered. This is as the first step. And the following, we are going to co-create and implement the interventions that we are together to tackle those problems that we have discovered, that we think it's really urgent, and that has also huge impact on our food value chain. And then the feedbacks will be collected. then we are going to refine those interventions that we developed together and for continuous improvement. So as I said, that we have conducted the first workshop, then we discover diverse kind of problems. I hope this is kind of presenting the problems. It's kind of inviting everybody to, especially my colleagues from other European projects, to jointly to address it or as inspirational. But I think some of the problem probably you will resonate with that we are facing. Next slide, please. So just some background information about the co-creation workshop that we have done. So it's 4 workshops conducted in 4 countries. In average, we have each workshop is around 2.5 hours. And in average also we have like 8 participants, and the composition of participants is very diverse, which is very nice. So it gives us a very comprehensive view to see what are the challenges or barriers that we're facing in able to make our food value chain more transparent and traceable. So we have, of course, growers. We have also food processor. We have some marketing agency that helps small, medium-sized food processor to promote their product, but also promote the local product. We have also knowledge institute. We have retailer, cooperatives, and open market and sector association. We also have a standards organization joined one of our workshop. So what we have discovered then, next slide, please. Thank you. So these are the 5 categories of the key barriers that we have identified together with our participants from the workshops. So the first one, of course, is always market related, that they, by being transparent, they are very concerned that their competitive advantage or their know-how or certain secrecy will be leaked or compromised. And also that we always saying that we need more transparent, more from consumer side. We need more transparent for the supply chain or for the food value chain. But it seems for the participants that joined our workshop, there's not much market or economic incentive for the actor in the food value chain to really make this request tangible, so to make money out of it, so say. And some participants also mentioned that the consumer is very price driven, so they are very sensitive about price. So no matter how much effort they spend, it seems the consumer is not very motivated to respond such initiative or effort. Another one that has been over stressed also through the workshop is about this regulation. We say it's unfavorable. So the regulation is either too strict or too complicated to understand, but also there is a certain area that the actor wish that the legislation or regulation to be in place, but it's missing, which made some of which created certain gray areas that some companies are taking advantage of, and also some they say, okay, we are doing a lot, but some other people or some companies they don't do anything. We wish there could be some penalties created to reward those are conduct well, and also to kind of give a penalty for those that are misconducts. Another thing is more about at the organizational level, because we're more focusing on small and medium-sized companies. So they all stress that the knowledge and the know-how and also capabilities to understand about transparency measures, to implement transparency measures or traceability measures is quite difficult. They don't have enough capacity and knowledge to launch such initiatives. And another thing that is quite commonly discussed also is about more technical, so it's more about the data. So it's difficult to collect the data or to understand the data or how to use it. Some of participants said that they have outsource such task to a third company, which costs them a lot. They also mentioned about some issues about certification, which I actually very happy to see that one of my colleagues, I think from Kostas' presentation from Aliens project, they are also dealing with some certification issues. So I'm very much interested to learn later. So the last one is about relational. So they were also talking about that they need more collaboration among the value chain stakeholders. So as I said, instead of bring a solution, I actually bring more problems. But this is just the first step. So now we are clear what are the barriers in front of us. And the next phase, which we're going to do this year, is to co-create interventions that tackle these problems. The intervention could be tailor-made or could be a similar structure across all the workshop, which we are still under discussion. But once we have more information, I would like very much also to be join this cluster webinar again and to share with you my updates. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Kun, again for this excellent overview about the project Q's. And from Q's now we move to FishEUTrust. Neves from the Joseph Stefan Institute will provide an overview about the project.
Exactly. Hello to everyone. Can you hear me?
Very well.
Yes, okay. Thank you very much. I didn't make any introduction of the project, but I will jump directly into the traceability system that we are developing in the FishEUTrust project, which is one of the topics that we are dealing with. So traceability technologies can be four of them. One is the physical traceability or physical testing of food, which is animal species origin. The second one is the food sensing or technology where fast methods for analyzing and characterize the food, which can be also linked to the IoT system or Internet of Things. Then we have hardware devices or Internet of Things. And at the end, we have blockchain and software developed for the traceability. All four traceability systems are developed in the FishEUTrust, but we are focusing only on CBRIM. This is the advantage. I'm going through different technologies that we developed in the FishEUTrust. One is the first. I will start with the physical testing we have done to identify the authenticity, but also the origin. We use microbiological and DNA testing and stable isotope approach. We can, just a second, yeah. So you all know that you can do the species and origin with the DNA testing, but with stable isotopes, you can also do geographical origin, and then you can also do you can check the wild and farm, or if the fish is wild or farm. We did just some results. We did the sample collection at our living labs. We have 5 living labs, but we done some sampling in Spain, at CEDGA in Portugal, in IPMA, in ABT in Malta, but we also had some data or some samples from Slovenia and Croatia. And looking at the DNA barcoding, you can see that we can not only do it for the fish speciation, but also to identify also the origin or the geographical origin. But we found that looking at the stable isotopic composition, you can really very fast with analysis only on carbon and nitrogen differentiate between wild and aquaculture fish. We have done also microbiome. We identified the biomarkers related to the farming of the fish, but also to the geographical origin, and we found quite interesting results. And what is the next? In the next step, we are going to put together all of the database. We can do some analysis individually, but now we are applying the artificial intelligence in order to find the appropriate biomarkers that we can check which biomarkers are the most appropriate to identify the origin and also the farming process. Then in the second, looking at the sensing, we developed smart control system for quality and safety. These are 4 smart systems. One is related to the freshness. The second one is related to the biological safety. So we developed electrochemical sensors targeting the bacteria. Then also the chemical safety targeting the antibiotics and also toxins. We have the first demo session at our last meeting in Portugal, where we actually developed, I'm sorry, I was too fast, where we actually developed, we were testing these devices, and now in the next steps, we are going to integrate the devices together that they can be available for the consumers to test them, or stakeholders. And then looking at the digital solutions, we can integrate digital solutions such as See for Tomorrow benchmark, as a food track. We have also Cobalia that is also available, but we want to integrate it into our platform. And we have also the prototype for IoT system for fish farms, but also to track the sensors or to track the temperature during the storage. And we developed the innovation platform. So the architecture has been already developed. We want to obtain all the information possible from our data from the literature, to integrate with our other infrastructure, and also to validate this platform in our living lab. And at the end, we want to product the passport QR code in blockchain that can be used for the badge digital passport containing essential data, but this is still under discussion, which data will be available for our passport. And here, if you want to follow us, I would like to thank you for your attention, and follow our project at our website and also our social media. Thank you.
Thank you, Nives. Thank you. On time. From the traceability systems in the EU, in the FishEUTrust, to C2C, but I suspect we will focus more on blockchain technology here. Sebastian?
Yes.
It's time.
It's time. Thank you, Dimitri. So I am Sébastien Gaïd, co-founder and CTO of TealHelix, one of the C2C project partner. So I will present you the C2C project on a technical point of view. So C2C is found in this Genesis sentence, innovative blockchain traceability technology and stakeholders engagement strategy for boosting sustainable seafood visibility, social acceptance, and consumption in Europe. So let's see how we are working on this project. So the C2C project focuses on the deployment of an innovative blockchain-based traceability technology to enhance trust and transparency in the seafood sector. In doing so, the project seeks to increase the visibility and the consumption of sustainable seafood across Europe. Consumers are increasingly looking for transparency in the products they buy, including seafood. But yet seafood often has a complex origin and lacks clear information on its provenance, species, fishing techniques, or sustainability. To remedy this, the European Union is implementing environmental and food safety policies aimed at making seafood production and consumption more sustainable, inclusive, and safe. However, a number of challenges remain, such as lack of digitalization, the absence of suitable tools for food traceability, the difficulty of linking sustainability and traceability of EU seafood products. So the C2C project is part of this effort. It's a 4-year project, so we have started in July 2022, and we will end in June 2026. We are 14 partners from 6 European countries. Okay, so why C2C? The aim of the project is to answer the question, where does my seafood come from? Also, we work to enhance trust, transparency, traceability in the European seafood sector. Also to boost visibility for sustainable seafood actors and encourage multi-stakeholder dialogue on social innovation. What we expect from this project outcome is a healthier ocean, empowered consumers, and resilient global food system. How we plan to do that? First, we plan to collect data across the whole value chain. We plan to verify inputs from stakeholders. We are implementing a blockchain-based platform for transparency with a set of user-friendly applications for professionals and also for consumers. And with some AI or machine learning solutions, we will try to provide some insights to the stakeholders. We are working on a few case studies with different kind of fish, so octopus, sea bream, sea bass, rainbow trout, and meagle, all across Europe, and some project will involve also Ecuador on Peru. The expected impact are transforming seafood traceability through technology and encourage responsible consumption and industry innovation. So let's have a look of the data collection part of the project. So as stated, it's based on a blockchain solution. This technology allow to easily onboard a new traceability actor because we are using a blockchain engine with easy to install blockchain nodes. Blockchain also allows some independent audit capabilities, since data fingerprints are duplicated at every node. Of course, blockchain node allows immutable traces of the data. And sorry, the engine we are using is based on multi-chain blockchain engine. So everybody knows that sharing data across supply chain actors is a complex task. So at C2C, we have decided to leverage some already existing standards. That's why we are using EPCAS language from GS1. Not to reinvent the wheel, and EPCAS will be used to share data across all the traceability actors. We are using and implementing some technology to collect data. Part of them are hardware-based, such as the Medusa probe provided by Smart Water Planet. So this probe will make it possible to collect data about the quality of the water. But also we are implementing software for the solution. The Smart Water Cloud application, for example, collect information about fish production management, and will send data on a regular basis to the C2C platform. Data is also collected using mobile applications developed by PageUp. So this mobile application enable traceability everywhere. So you do not need anything else than a mobile to be able to share data. You can scan labels. You can also print label if you want to ease traceability for the next steps. It's possible to use mobile printers to stick information on boxes, for example. We are also implementing some RFID-based solution to make it very easy to add events to the C2C platform. We also developed some application SDK to make it very easy for other stakeholders to share data or to use data from already existing systems like ERP or WMS for big actors. Once the data is collected, the C2C platform can be used to visualize all the aggregated information, to deep dive into supply chains, to get some reports, visual or raw data, and also to get feedback from the consumer. We will see that we have this part also in the solution. So it's really easy to manage your supply chain using GS1 master data. So you will be able to list your actors, locations, products, trade item, etc. This application also allows to get some information about risk assessment, like certification compliance. The platform will show you the differences between what is expected and what is observed in the data. Supply chain coherence also. You will be able to set up some alerts to be sure that data is shared correctly, that data is coherent, etc. And also, a brand, an industrial will be able to set up data visibility for its consumer, because there is a difference between visibility and transparency. So you have to set up what you want to make visible to your consumers. About this, the last part of the technical solution is based on the Spotlight application, which present a digital product passport to consumers. So very easy to use. You scan a QR code, for example, that is printed on a product, and you are able to get information about the product. It's a single-page web application, so nothing to install on your mobile phone. And here you can have information about the product life cycle, impact assessment. The brand can also provide some, photographs, videos, or marketing material to communicate about the product to the consumer, and make the consumer better informed to choose to decide to buy or not the product. Also, some feedbacks are possible from the consumer to the brand using some survey in the Spotlight application. So the user can rate the application, for example, with a 5-star system, or answer a question yes or no, or open question. So very easy to have a link to your consumers. So here is the whole picture, I would say, of the technological component discussed previously. But of course, technology is just one part of the solution. All project partners are collaborating to identify the key information consumers need to make more informed purchasing decisions, to deliver valuable data on the sustainability and health impact of seafood products. We are also working on organizing demonstrators of the project solution with real industrials that are participating to this demonstrator. And we are working on sharing project insight and educate the public about the project outcomes. Thank you very much, and do not hesitate to ask questions in the chat, and see you in the Q&A session.
Thank you again, Sebastian. Thank you so much for your presentation. We move now to Dimitra. Dimitra will present the project THEROS.
Hi everyone, I'm Dimitra, and I'm the day-to-day manager of THEROS project, and I'm very thrilled to be with all of you today and share some of the exciting advancements from the THEROS project. Today we will explore how advanced traceability and verification technologies can revolutionize organic and geographical indication food supply chains. This is where THEROS comes in, that aims to build a resilient system that ensures traceability and authenticity of organic and geographic indication products from farm to consumer. So let's move on. As you can see here, THEROS is a 36-month innovation action funded by the European Union with nearly 4 million. It's coordinated by the Institute of Communication and Computer Systems in Greece and tackles food fraud and non-compliance in organic and geographical indication food supply chain. Our project focuses on developing a comprehensive toolbox that combines multiple technologies to secure supply chains of these high-value products. Our strength lies in our diverse consortium, which consists of 17 partners from 6 different countries. As you can see here, our envision approach and main concept of THEROS project basically consists of low-cost, digital, and scalable solutions that rely on Earth observation, ecosystem services, MEMS-based photonic systems, IoT sensors network, and also DNA-based authenticity kit, being coupled up with advanced analytics, machine learning, and artificial intelligence in order to ensure efficient detection of fraudulent cases, as well as monitoring of associated quality and sustainability elements. Also, we have blockchain-enhanced traceability system and digital product passports for improved traceability, security, and data governance, platforms and algorithms that allow management and harmonization of all this heterogeneous data, as well as their consolidation for the verification and validation of transactions across the whole supply chain. And last but not least, interfaces to facilitate monitoring and inspection by competent authorities, informed decision-making by supply chain actors and policymakers, as well as business model-driven approaches to support source supply chains of quality labeled food products. THEROS Toolbox is being deployed in 4 pilots in Serbia, Greece, Czech Republic, and also in Spain. So now let's dive into more details about the components of traceability and verification aspect. The THEROS project leverages Earth observation services to ensure compliance with organic farming standards through satellite imagery and machine learning techniques. By utilizing Sentinel-2 data, we develop models capable of distinguishing organic from conventional parcels, enabling this way remote monitoring of agricultural activity. Through innovative machine learning markers, the system enhances risk assessment and compliance verification, making large-scale monitoring of organic farming both efficient and reliable. These advancements contribute significantly to ensuring that the integrity of organic certifications and also the sustainability of food supply chains. Another aspect of this component is the carbon sequestration study that we do. We conduct analysis on how the adoption of organic farming practices influence the amount of CO2 that is sequestrated from the atmosphere and is stored to the soil as soil organic carbon. Next, we have the MEMS-based photonic system that provides a low-cost, portable solution for detecting food adulteration. It enables quick, non-destructive analysis of products like wheat flour and apple juice. We have achieved high accuracy, particularly valuable for differentiating organic and non-organic products like oranges, contributing in the overall integrity of organic labeling. Another aspect is the food adulteration identification system, in which we acquired soil and food samples from the pilot partners. conducted hyperspectral scanning of these samples, and we are testing approaches for classifier and soil property modeling. The MEMS-based photonic system is also coupled up with a mobile application that is used to facilitate data acquisition from the spectrometers. Another important component is the IoT sensors network, which monitors quality and climate parameters during the transport of organic and geographical indication foods. These sensors address both intentional and unintentional alterations by monitoring air temperature, humidity, and package integrity in real time, which all these data are then transmitted to the THEROS platform, ensuring that the product quality is maintained throughout the whole supply chain. Next, we have the DNA-based authenticity kit to verify the species origin and authenticity, focusing on organic and geographical indication labeled products. The kit uses high-resolution melting profiles and DNA sequences to provide accurate identification. Machine learning models have been also created to predict the origin of mussels based on DNA sequences and these melting temperatures, significantly enhancing the detection of mislabeling and alteration. And it's also coupled up with a data ingestion platform, which is used to visualize all the results from the portable device. Next, we have three of the other main components of the THEROS toolbox that is used for traceability and verification. First of all, we have developed the blockchain traceability system to ensure secure and transparent tracking of food products across the whole supply chain. This platform records every transaction from farm to consumer, facilitating this way the detection and tracing of any discrepancies. It's already integrated with existing ERP systems in our pilot cases. And we also developed additional manual data entry screens available for any unexpected situation. Next, we have a critical component of the THEROS toolbox, which is the verification engine. We developed a verification engine in order to automate the process of validating the integrity and authenticity of organic and geographical indication products. This engine processes basically data from all various sources, applying business rules to ensure that products meet specific standards. Then all these verification events are posted and recorded to the system, to the blockchain system, enhancing this way the transparency and trust in the supply chain by providing a reliable mechanism for verifying product compliance. And last but not least, we have the Dynamic Digital Product Passport, which offers real-time traceability and verification of organic and geographic indication food products. By scanning a product's code or entering an identification number, users can access detailed data on the product status. The app is designed with a user-friendly interface and tailored features for different kinds of user groups, ensuring relevant data is accessible and actionable across the supply chain. I think that's all. Thank you, everyone, for the attention, and really looking forward to answer any question by the end of today's presentations.
Thank you so much, Dimitra. We move now to Edward. We'll present the project Titan.
Yes,
Edward,
okay.
For the next 5 to 7 minutes, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I'll try to give you an overview of the Titan project. Here you have some of the small facts. It's the title of the call was Increasing the Transparency of EU Food Systems to Boost Health, Sustainability and Safety of Products, Processes and Diets. And when you read this, you can understand that we have quite a broad range of topics that we are addressing. The total budget is about 11.8 million euro. And that's partly because we have a Swiss partner that could add to the budget. The project will end 31st of August in 2026. It's a 4-year project. It's an innovation action. We have 27 partners, of which 12 SMEs. 12 universities and research centers, and 3 NGOs. And as part of this project, we have 15 pilots that were part of the project from the beginning. And we also had an open call of 1.2 million euro where we accepted 8 additional pilots. And what is typical for the Titan project is that we approached SMEs with the question if they could think of something that they could add to their current product offer to expand or to improve or to innovate as a starting point. And then when needed, they could invite a university or a research center to help them with this. And we choose this approach because we wanted to be sure, let's say relatively sure, about the commercial implementation of the developments that were done in the Titan project. And you can see that we have 14 countries all spread over Europe. What we did when we analyzed the topics that we are addressing in Titan, then we found that we are addressing 4 key expertise areas, as we call them. Enabling consumers to make informed food choices, to facilitate supply chain sustainability, to, let's say, implement new innovative technologies, and to take the food system approach. And we have made some subdivisions. So for the first header, for the first key expertise area, we have 2 different ones: ensure food safety and authenticity, but also informing and educating the consumer, and also front of pack labeling is part of this one. For the second topic, facilitating supply chain sustainability, we try to focus on environmental and social aspects because we know that the economic ones are covered, and we try to give special attention to economic support for SMEs. In the implementation of new innovative technologies, we are working on faster and more accurate detection methods, and of course on disruptive digital technologies. And for the food system approach, we would like to work in line with this food system approach towards a sustainable food system, but we also want to stimulate successful innovation. Then we have, let's say, identified 4 categories, and they're a bit in line with what was previously presented by the partner from Slovenia. So the first header we have is innovative detection methods. So we have a number of pilots that are testing or developing new DNA-based detection methods, and the focus is on portable rapid detection methods or technologies that can give accurate results fastly. So we have a pilot that is in the olive supply chain, and here a lab on a chip is developed. So that's a portable device to do DNA-based detection, and this is combined with the blockchain. So the partners are INL and the University of Santiago de Compostela and Open Food Chain, which is a startup from Amsterdam. The second pilot is about the traceability of food allergens, and this is done in flour from cereals. And here we have a combination between development of lab on a chip and artificial intelligence. And the last aspect is covered by AI Talentum from Spain. We have 2 pilots that are quite connected. We have Microbiome, which is a startup from Italy, and UCSC, this is the Università Cattolica de Cremona. They work together on omics technologies and on rapid detection methods to look into the microbiology of fermented food products and on the presence of pathogens in long shelf life products, in this case plant-based milks. And then we have from the open call, we have 1 additional pilot that combines digital microscopy and artificial intelligence for the let's say prevention of food fraud with honey. The second, and that's in line with what you heard previously, aspect are sensor technologies. So we have several pilots that are developing and or testing new sensors that can give information about the freshness of products and thus the remaining shelf life. These are both from the open call, so they have a, let's say, a limited budget, and they are in Titan for a shorter period. TealFish, which is run by TealSpec, determines the freshness of fish, so it can give an indication of the remaining shelf life using a spectroscopic sensor. And we have the partner Color Sensing, which is also a Spanish startup, and they can put a sensor on the packaging, and in this case you see chicken, and that can detect with their color also the, let's say, the expiration date, make it flexible or dynamic. And they also work in combination with artificial intelligence, and that's something that you will notice. This was maybe not planned beforehand, but artificial intelligence is flying in such a way that it comes back in more cases than we had anticipated beforehand. The third topic that I would like to mention is Internet of Things and interconnectivity. And in fact, we think this is the main challenge that we have to solve, to connect all the sensors and devices that can give information that is relevant into one system, ideally for a partner, a user, in their laptop, so they can get in the data and analyze them, ask questions, and then they can take measures that are fact-based. So we have one pilot where Agrono, that's a Greek startup, works together with Symbiosis. That's a company that makes, let's say, foods that are healthy, that contain Greek herbs or honey. And they set up a real-time and intelligent data sharing platform for the verification of their suppliers. We have another one that is led by Agricolis, that is an Italian startup, and they develop what they call a new traceability tool to help farmers to grow tomato and rice more sustainably. That's because they have two pilots, one on tomato, one on rice. They're collecting information and help the farmers in this way. Total Control, this is a startup from Norway that is focused on reduction of food waste, and they want to develop a fully automated inventory system for the hospitality sector. Also connecting different sensors, also when the products come in, what is their shelf life, so that the chef can decide what to order and what to use that day, so that the food waste is reduced. We have from the open call with Sunibal, also a Spanish company, an integrated solution for enhanced tuna fishing, and in this case it's about preventing that too small tuna is being caught. And then we have, with an Italian partner, an advanced decision support system. And this case is for vineyard management, but it's in line with what Agricolis is doing. And then I choose the wording. So digitalization in general, it's maybe not specifically AI or blockchain or IoT. It's more connecting more aspects. Two pilots have to go to digitize and to improve decision-making process. And in this case, we're talking about online trade platforms. A special case is Consensio, that's a Spanish company, and they facilitate with the online trade for fresh produce between producers and retailers, and they learned that they don't speak the same language. So as part of the Titan project, they have a pilot to improve the language so that they agree, and that the retailers order the right products, that the farmers put it in the right packaging, so that when it arrives, it's happily accepted by the customer. And then from the open call, we have a similar approach, a unique data-centric platform that can synchronize supply with demand, and this is run by Agricorn. And then we also have blockchain, and I mentioned here open blockchain, the open food chain. They're involved in two pilots, and for them it's really important that it's not hidden, that the data is not put separate. They want to make it more accessible. And we have another startup which is Quality Chain, and they focus on affordable blockchain, because when you would like to perform blockchain maybe in the way as it could, it can be quite expensive. And for the smallholder farmers they are working with, or the small food processing companies, it should be affordable. So they made let's say a lean version of a blockchain. We have Agri Marketplace. They are setting up the supply chain for carbon certificates in almond production, and blockchain is part of the process. But of course, this is a complete setup with audits and verification and certification. We have Sakana, which is linked with the GDST in the seafood sector, and they will analyze the Vietnamese shrimp supply chain to free it from forced labor, and they work together with Open Food Chain on blockchain. Then I mentioned already Quality Chain. They work with small companies. They provide affordable blockchain. They also design really nicely looking QR codes, which was not part of this call, but please look up what they do. And then we have a unique pilot which came in with the open call is Chief Chain, and they go to events and then they produce their blockchain burger, and you can see the picture on the left. And so they explain to all the visitors of the event when they buy their blockchain burger where all the ingredients from the product comes from, and they also use blockchain to make it immutable. And then to end up to the Titan KPIs, we want to increase the access to relevant data. We would like to contribute to the reduction of food safety issues. We would like to help vulnerable workers to get a higher income. We would like, via our work, to improve the nutritional intake of vulnerable children, the reduction of valuable resources like water, more economic value for carbon storage, reduction of food loss and waste, reduction of food fraud cases, and more trust between food producers and buyers. And with this, I thank you all very much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Edward, again. We are running, I think it's already 10:30 now. We have to move on. Truls will present our project, Watson. Truls, the virtual floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here. I'm Truls Bakurade from SINTEF Nord, where I work as a senior research scientist. We're located in Tromsø, so we have quite a geographic range of the presenters today. Yeah, see, someone is using the cursor on this thing. Yeah, so Watson, it's an abbreviation for this title. It's a 3-year product under the Farm to Fork strategy, of course. It has an EU contribution of almost 10 million euros and a total cost of more than 11 million euros because we have both the Swiss and UK partners. It's coordinated by UCD, Dimitrios, our host, with 45 partners across 20 EU and non-EU countries. And we also have 6 pilot supply chains that I will get into a bit later. The concept, it's kind of a fully vertical digital technology architecture. As people have described already, there are quite a lot of different IoT sensors, DNA-based sensors, circulators, spectroscopic sensors, other types of food scanning devices that we are using. This needs to be integrated into a solid back end of trustworthy data sources with some intelligence and application layers. And we also have the different user interfaces on top to present all of this different data that's being collected. That will be both through apps, web pages, digital food product passport, dashboards. So even though this is about technology, this seminar and session, I will present a bit of our results that will act as a basis and baseline for the design and development of the different modules in the project. So the first thing we did in the first work package is to conduct a systematic literature review, where we started with almost 600 articles concerning traceability, transparency, and technology in food supply chains. Many of these mention blockchain, but quite a few of them they don't really go into the needed depth, I think. So if there's another seminar like this, I would be really interested to hear everyone's takes on the kind of implementation details. That would be interesting. The findings is that blockchain is not always necessary. There's a lack of mature applications. In the published peer-reviewed literature, there's a lack of evidence of application that passes the prototyping stage. Of course, not everything goes into scientific journals, but it is still symptomatic of kind of problems with making this more mature. Food is kind of special in that we have a lot of mixed supply chains. When you're making finished consumer-ready products, there will be ingredients from different supply chains. That means that we either need to have really big blockchains with many transactions, or somehow having intersecting blockchains where we have some kind of semantic interoperability across the different chains. We have found kind of one special use case that we think blockchain is a really good tool for, where it clearly adds value, and that's when we need immutability for stateful applications where we have multiple writers and we have no trusted third party available online. Often in the food supply chains, there are trusted third party like the food safety authorities or other governmental agencies. Furthermore, we need to decide what's the purpose of using blockchain. What is it the best tool for, or is it the best tool for what purpose? What should be on and off chain is kind of a design problem that we are still working on, and it's not always obvious what should be the answer. How should the off-chain data be organized? Who and how should the data be accessed? We've done quite a bit of modeling to be able to get to these details of what should go where. We have a high-level supply chain interactions, business process models, information models, data availability mappings, and as other projects have said, we're trying to align this with the relevant standards such as GS1 transport instructions, EPCIS, and other standards. GS1 is quite a good resource for all of this, where we don't really want to reinvent the wheel. There are some both deliverables and peer-reviewed articles coming on this from our side, so we hope that they'll be interesting for you to read. We have also done some expert interviews. These are the 6 supply chains in Watson. The problems when it comes to authenticity, traceability, transparency, and food fraud are quite different between these supply chains. For instance, for the Portuguese wine, there are strong protections, but experts feel that the external producers market misleading or non-authentic products. Or honey, for instance, it's really easy to add cheap corn syrup to honey, and it needs to be able to be detected. So this is one of the technologies that we're working on. We've also done a vulnerability assessment and behavior analysis, where we find that kind of the social relations and social justice considerations is quite important. Some of these technologies that we can include will change the trust relations and even more possibly change the market and trade dynamics. And we need to be really mindful about the kind of secondary effects of the technology that we try to introduce. So that's a quick part. Thank you for your attention. I'm also willing to take questions after the next presentation.
Great. Thank you, Truls. On time, presentation. Very good overview of the first results that we had in Watson within the first 18 months, I would say. Very good piece of work. We move now. Our final presentation today will be given by team GS1 from Germany. Tim, the floor is yours about the TealHelix project, if I
Yes. Yes. Hello, everyone. As you heard, I'm from GS1 Germany in Cologne. We are part of the TealHelix project. To be honest, we're a small partner, and we contribute to the research, which is very broad in this project. We are in the sixth project month now, and so we are still starting and initiating our research with the literature review and the requirement analysis. So we are, as a standardization body, you heard the name of GS1 several times in the different projects already. So we contribute to the different work packages. But in this case here, I want to highlight the traceability aspects we bring into this project, and EPCIS is one of the standards we use for this. And let me introduce shortly the project, because I heard that the introduction already took place. We are about 17 partners from 10 countries. So half of the institutes, or the majority of the institutes, are related to psychology, behavioral analysis. So this is a totally different path where we are working in as GS1. But we have in common that we want to bring new ideas of healthy food and sustainable food to the consumers. And so we have the preparation phase, and then we have a pilot testing phase, and where we want to test with different tools which already exist and which we want to improve, the Claims Buster app and the Better Me app, and there will be a food compass developed, and all these tools will be tested in 6 different pilots, different countries. And we, as a GS1 organization, we are really looking also into the physical testing, because we have online and offline testing. So what is very interesting for all of you is that we follow the integrated approach that we bring in the standards, but they should be integrated in the different supply chain processes. We heard before master data, we have the event data or visibility data, and everything starts with identify. Identify is what are we looking at? We heard about the suppliers and the retailers who discuss which items they are exchanging, which produce, and so on. Give them names, we give them numbers. We work very structured. So identify is always the first step. And as you know, the global trade item number is the one number we use for identification. In another step, it's capture. It's the barcode, more or less, where we are looking at the cashier, but also in the logistic processes. You see the different labels. And so labeling is crucial for our project TealHelix. So we will discuss different ways of labeling sustainability on products. So finally, to share information across supply chain from the production to the end consumer. And what I have to switch. Coming back to the event-driven aspect, is that we look especially at the what, when, where, why, and how. This is standardized. The EPCIS is just a standardized interface which is freely available, and you can use it for your purposes. And we haven't already talked about blockchain or any other repository in TealHelix, so it's very open to any use in different projects. And what are the main assets of global traceability is that we really rely on identification. We heard about the party or the partner identification with the locations, the objects, these are the products, or even single items or batches of products. So data is master data, the description of master data, so they are also in the global registry. We can integrate transaction data, so this is ordering and invoicing and so on, and event data means the visibility of moving objects along the supply chain. So the key enablers are identification, data capture, and sharing, as I said before, but with these steps, we have to define the critical traceability events, where to track and where to take additional data and to match it, connect it to our traceability. And finally, we also have the opportunity to verify the origin of objects or the names of the partners and the locations by a verified service by GS1. It's also open and used also by government authorities to track where the product comes from. And then I just want to give an outlook on the future. As I said, the barcode is the main tool to connect to the products or the different granularities. In the future, we will have a 2D code on every fast-moving consumer good, and so we can integrate much more data into a smaller code, but we get an endless variety of opportunities, and so we can make sustainability really visible for regulators and consumers. And this is where we are discussing with our partners in the TealHelix concept project. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Tim. I would like to thank all the speakers once more. We can move directly now to questions and answers. I have received several ones from the audience on my chat now. I would welcome everybody, not everybody from the speakers, I mean, just to turn on your cameras. And we can kick off. We have approximately 15 minutes before 12 CET time. I would start with a question that I have received here for the TealHelix team. Is it possible to connect to digital traceability other information from the value chain belonging to food products, and which kind of data?
Yes, very good question. As long as we can identify the different items, the different products with the number, and we have the 5 dimensions of the event, we can connect data from the IoT, from sensors to this. This is especially already developed in the traceability EPCIS 2.0 release. So it's really useful to make that, but we can also connect certificates and other information, documents, and then moving along the supply chain to everybody, to any stakeholder.
Thank you, Tim. I have another one here, probably might be for THEROS. How does THEROS differentiate itself? Dimitra, this question is for you. How does THEROS differentiate itself from other traceability and verification initiatives for organic and GI labeled products?
Okay, great question. Thank you, Dimitrios. Basically, unlike conventional traceability systems that rely probably on paper-based records or single technology verification, the THEROS project integrates multiple advanced technologies into one interoperable toolbox. We use Earth observation, MEMS system, IoT sensors, DNA, blockchain, digital passport. All of these are coupled up in one toolbox, which is multi-technology integration for comprehensive verification. We use like Earth observation with MEMS photonic system, IoT with traceability, etc., as I mentioned in my presentation. We also, THEROS is designed to integrate with existing certification frameworks and regulatory bodies, ensuring seamless adoption. provides a centralized digital platform where multiple stakeholders can share and validate data in real time, which is the green accountability tool, which I didn't present here today. Unlike site-specific inspection, THEROS Earth Observation Ecosystem Services monitors scales up to a national level in the Greek pilot, and also a larger scale monitoring area in the Serbian pilot, allowing authorities to focus on high-risk areas for fraud detection. And also, besides the traceability and the verification tools, we have our more user-centric tools and cost-effective approach, which is the digital product passport and the mobile application for MEMS, which makes THEROS project accessible to small-scale farmers and producers, reducing this way the digital divide, let's say. And also we have the system's automated fraud detection, which reduce the cost burden on certification bodies, which are the main stakeholders in the THEROS project, making compliance more efficient and cost-effective.
Excellent. Thank you, Dimitra. I have one more, an additional one, very short one, about your satellite systems here. Do they apply only to monoculture systems, or how does it apply to agroecological parcel systems? Very brief answer of you.
I will try because this task is handled by Synergize and it's another partner, but I will try to answer. Mainly the
very briefly, yeah, please. Because I have several questions. Yeah.
The Earth observation component within THEROS primarily relies on satellite imagery to analyze agricultural parcel using multiple markers, which I didn't include in the presentation because we had a short time to present all of this. We have homogeneity marker, crop type, organic and non-organic. It's well suited for monoculture systems in THEROS project with the spectral and temporal signature of crops are easier to classify. But the system is also designed to be adaptable to agroecological parcel systems. We also compute crop rotation and nitrogen runoff practices, which is the EFAs, the ecological focus area. So we also address this. We have computed the markers for these two, which address the compliance with agroecological practices such as cover cropping or biodiversity conservation. Of course, we have challenges and we remain full capturing the homogeneity of agroecological system, but we are actively now in refining the models to ensure they remain robust and applicable across various approaches.
Thank you, Dimitra. Thank you so much for your answer. Very comprehensive one. I have a question here for Truls, probably. Truls, I think, mentioned about in-depth analysis of blockchain. The question is, what organizational challenges and barriers to implement different technologies? What have you observed from your results?
Yeah, I think there are many interesting things to say about this. Main thing is that there's always a trade-off between kind of the additional traceability granularity that you get and the value of it. So I think you really need to be kind of mindful of what you're trying to achieve. I think many organizations need more knowledge and expertise in both digitalization and supply chain management. It's not even just implementing a blockchain is not enough. You really need to understand many different things to be able to do it properly. And then I think that we have so many projects working on similar things is a great way to raise awareness and expertise about this in Europe.
Great, thank you, Truls. I'm still receiving questions. There is another one for Neves. Which traceability system do you find more efficient?
It depends on the question, probably. But I still think that we are in an area related to the digital solutions, and I think this is a very good new solutions, but I still think, I'm still conventional one that sometimes in your traceability system, you will also need some physical testing if this is really properly labeled, I would say. Yeah. But for efficiency, I would say the digital solutions are probably more efficient, more faster. But in reality, to get all the information are really true or not for verification, sometimes the physical testing would be also important to check.
Great, thank you, Nivs. Costa, let me see for the different. Okay, for the different food supply chains, how do you consider the application of the alliance solution? Are there any variations?
Yes, of course, there are some variations between the supply chains, the different food products. We have different sensors that we are using in the data acquisition layer, for example, for each supply chain. And we have different way of storing the data that are produced in the persistence layer. That's why we need also interoperability mechanism in this. We use some standards like GS1 to store in this layer this data. And of course, we have to specify for each supply chain which are the kinds of frauds that we have to deal with, and to build on a specific AI early warning detection system for each food supply chain. And but at the end, we try to use a common web app that will provide all this information the same way to all users, and especially to the consumers regarding the traceability, how to detect the story behind each product.
Okay, Costa, thank you. I think I have 4 or 5 more, but probably we can pick 2 last ones. We still have 3 minutes, I would say, before the end of this webinar. There is one for Sebastian. Could you describe a little bit further how and why the blockchain technology is used by this project? Does it ensure that the shared data is true? And what about power consumption?
Yeah.
Very briefly, if you can, Sebastian, very briefly, I have one. I mean,
Yes.
I can pick 1 or 2 more, let's say. Okay.
I will try to be very quick. So first about power consumption, we are using a permissioned blockchain technology. So there is no proof of work. So there is no problem with power consumption. A small machine can be used to be part of the network. About the fact that the data is correct or not, of course, the blockchain will not convert incorrect data into correct data. So we use the blockchain only for audit purpose. So using a combination of blockchain transaction and data fingerprints, we are able to audit. So to prove that you have said something at a specific moment, and that's it. I will end with the fact that blockchain is just another tool. It's just a tool. It's just one tool in the set of tools we use to implement the solution. So we do not use it as a be-all solution, end-all be-all solution. So yes.
Sebastian?
Yes.
Have you completed your answer? I have a 5.
I think so.
Okay, great. Thank you. Final one for. Let me pick one. Who hasn't? I have 2 more for Dimitra, for Team True. Edward, which of the main categories that you have mentioned are the most challenging to achieve and why?
Yes, I've tried to mention 5 different categories. So those are the DNA-based detection methods, the sensors, Internet of Things, digitalization in general, and blockchain. And I think for us, the most challenging is the Internet of Things. To let's say to reach a higher level where we can connect the input from different sensors in one, you could say, a computer system where it can be let's say studied, modeled, so that the user gets really good let's say results. I think for the DNA-based detection methods and the sensors, there are a lot of developments, and I think they can be implemented. There can be questions about the costs or if there's a good business case. But yeah, for me, the Internet of Things, that's the most challenging one. That's where we see the biggest issue to get this really solved.
Yeah. Great. I would like to thank once more all the speakers for the excellent presentations of the 8 projects in this cluster. Also, all the participants for the I have some more questions, but we don't really have time now to do that. We keep in touch, all of us. I would like to thank everybody, the participants, and of course, Lisbon Council that make that real, organizing the event. John and Aliza from Lisbon Council, thank you so much, all of you. I would like to wish a nice day, a nice weekend, and we keep in touch. Thank you all so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.